Okay, good morning, good evening, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. Apologies, a few of you will have heard this spiel before, but just covering off anybody who is new on Link so far. We are joined here by Will Jordan and Beauden Barrett to discuss the launch of rugby's greatest rivalry. This is an alternating quadrennial tour between South Africa and New Zealand. The first iteration takes place next year in August and September. New Zealand will play four franchise games before four tests, three of which will be in South Africa. One will be at an international neutral venue. This tour has been planned and agreed with SANZAAR. SANZAAR themselves will be announcing their 5-year strategy before the announcement of this tour, so that will have a lot of context in terms of the future of Rugby Championship. A few will have had the benefit of Andy from South Africa mentioning earlier. There is a rugby championship that's occurring 2027, 2028, and 2029, but that is news for SANZAAR to confirm. So that's just a line for you guys just to have as background information. SANZAAR will be confirming as quickly as possible. A reminder too that all these quotes are under embargo. We are making benefit of Will and Jordan and the other squad members and coaches while we have access to them before they go on holidays and return to clubs. So as soon as we have our launch date confirmed, we'll confirm as soon as possible when we can go live because we're all keen to get this up and running. But yes, I'll open the floor as we've done on the previous sessions. Thank you to Will and Beauden for your time. Okay, Jan, kick off.
Yeah, thanks again. I think my question is to both Will and Beauden. Your earliest memories of Springbok South Africa tours, so Springboks in New Zealand and New Zealand in South Africa, proper tours. I know this goes back to the 60s, so do you guys remember anything about these things, or was that before your time?
G'day, Jan. Yes, it was a little bit before our time, but my earliest memories were being a youngster, probably 6 years old, waking up in the morning at 3 a.m. Mum waking us up just prior to the haka and putting on the jug, and would watch the All Blacks play the Boks with a cup of hot Milo. Those were the earliest memories for me.
Yeah, similar for me. Yeah, the old man get me up in the morning. He would trot down and watch it. Always exciting getting up in the early hours to watch the ABs. Yeah, my earliest memories were, I guess, the era of Habanas and Fru de Prayers and like the Madfields up against your Richies and your Dans and stuff. So yeah, iconic teams at those times, and certainly as a New Zealander, it's a great memory as a kid getting up with your family to watch those tests early in the morning.
So, both players again, what would your expectations be of such a tour? I mean, you must have heard from some of the older players what it's like coming here and what it's like playing in a four-test series.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Sir John Kerwin yesterday about it, and he's played, I think, 63 test matches, but 96 games. So those additional games were those midweek battles, which are often against the club teams or the provincial teams. And he said they were equally as hard as test matches because you'd get, um, you know, at that time they were all amateur, eventually maybe semi-pro, but they'd all rise to the occasion and throw everything they had at a chance to beat up the All Blacks. So he said they were just as hard as those test matches. So hearing those stories and what the challenge is ahead, I know that it'll be a very tough tour, particularly taking on the Boks in their home country, and also the pride in the provincial teams that the South African sides are.
Yeah, I guess just back Bodie up. It's certainly something new for us in this era to have those midweek games. The touring system will be, yeah, something that's a bit different. So getting used to that and having the midweek games and how that's balanced with the big squad and stuff will be something that'll be exciting and to work through. I know certainly miss playing those South African teams in Super Rugby, so to get a chance to play a few of those teams will be great. So it's always a great time touring South Africa, and to have a lengthier tour allow us to experience some different things on and off the paddock, which will be great.
Just as a follow-up, I mean, I don't see if anybody wants to jump in, please stop me. But in terms of Super Rugby, before it was all changed, did you guys, what is your best memories of coming here in terms of playing franchises or playing the provinces of South Africa?
I've got so many great memories, and like Will has said, it's something that we really miss is the not just the challenge of playing more rugby, more games in South Africa. It's actually the joy in touring and the experiences you have off the field. Um, I mean, the post-match braais in the outside the stadium, mixing with the fans in that way, like. I guess you've got a great climate that allows you to do that in South Africa. So it's another reason why you get so many fans turning up to games. It's a great experience. So look, we also enjoy getting out on the golf courses. It's fairly well known that we like to do that, similar to the box. We actually have a lot in common. So yeah, enjoying a beer after the test matches. Whilst we try and beat each other up for 80 minutes, it's one of the good things that we do have in common.
Okay, Leighton.
Thank you. Maybe both of you guys will and Buddy can answer this, but what have you guys made of the box this past couple of tests? You played against them. Obviously, for the last couple of years, they've been a team in transition. If you speak of their attack and what they've brought in, do you expect that to grow as you head towards next year's greatest rivalry tour?
I would expect so. Like it'll be the same coaching group they'll have in. So I guess yeah, they've certainly got a way they're trying to move forward with their game, and it's certainly had some great results over the last few weeks and playing a pretty exciting brand of rugby. I know personally I've had some great battles against their backs, the likes of Cheslin and that who are pretty electric. So using them is certainly something they can do. And alongside that, they'll always go back to their strengths of their set piece and their kicking game. They're still, I think, fundamentals of their game. So yeah, I think their style is becoming incredibly well balanced, and they can change it up depending on what each week brings.
Okay, Morgan.
Thank you. It's for both. 1996 tour is a bit infamous in South Africa because it saw the end of a very proud record against New Zealand for not losing a tour in South Africa. How do you guys see that tour in New Zealand?
I was five years old. So you're challenging me a little bit there, Josh. Is it Josh there? Morgan.
Morgan.
Surely though you've heard from the previous test players about the 96 tour and how they regarded that test victory in South Africa, or that test series victory.
Is that the incomparables?
I think it was Sean
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Oh, look, you're talking about legends of our game, absolute heroes. Obviously for the challenges they had in the World Cup and to be able to turn up and do what they did. I don't know the details of the match, but that was a quality side with a large number of Auckland reps that carried on through to the national level. Yeah, led by Fitzy, I believe. So the likes of Zinzan Brook and Co. Must have been a hell of a feat to do that 2-1.
Okay, Morgan.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Josh, sorry. Or Morgan, have you got a follow-up? Sorry,
No.
Will, you go on. I jumped in there.
I was just going to say, like, it's certainly something we touch back on, a lot of legacy stuff in the team. So I know, I'm sure that Razor heading into next year, that'll be a real focus for us. We'll be drawing some inspiration from that tour, and it's, I guess, great to have that to feedback on from the All Black history around a team that's gone and done it before.
Thank you.
Sorry, Will. Josh.
Well, hi guys, just one for Beauden. How much did your experience with the Lions touring New Zealand 2017 sort of get you up for this, and will it be cool for you to be on the other side where you'll be in the team touring somewhere else?
Yeah, it was. It always is impressive watching or seeing how those players back up. I don't know how much training they do between games, but I understand they have a lot of fun off the field, recover. It's almost a captain's run, and they're into it. So, um, yeah, Will touched on the larger squads required to do such a thing. And that's all part of it. But yeah, what a challenge. It's such a unique opportunity. With our NPC here, we have short turnarounds, in some cases 5 days, but it'll be shorter than that in these situations. So just being able to be on the road for that period of time, going throughout the entire country, going to places that a lot of the boys have never, in fact, the country for some, but a lot of the provincial states that none of the boys have been to. It's going to be a very special tour on that note, and more so to experience some of the other stadiums because, yeah, from memory, playing in the likes of, even playing against the Cheetahs for me back in the day, like the brand of rugby that they played, I think. Is at the high veld. These are the experiences, not to mention how far you can kick the ball, that are so memorable for me as a player.
And do you think the All Blacks fans will be able to match sort of the Lions fans and the feeling you get on a Lions tour and how loud and sort of
I,
how many of them sort of rock up?
I think we'll need to work on our in-game singing and that side of the atmosphere, but in terms of passion and loyalty, yeah, there'll be no doubt. I think we'd expect a large touring group, but when you're talking about the Lions and the sheer population and the support that they get, it's second to none. So that's what makes Lions tours great. I know there's already people really keen to tick the South Africa box. You had a tour this grand to that. It's a perfect opportunity to do so.
Well, thank you.
Okay, Leighton.
Thank you. Beauden, maybe just for you, please, as one of the older statesmen in the All Black side, the weight will be mostly on you and some of the other senior guys to sort of introduce the younger guys, the Cams and those guys who haven't played Super Rugby in South Africa to the hostile environment that awaits them for those 7 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. It is a thing. Look, some guys experienced it. A large number of the squad experienced it last year, and the drive to Ellis Park and things like that. It's it sends shivers down your spine, and it's part of the great occasion and what it is to tour as an All Black in South Africa. So yeah, I think through storytelling and yeah, having great connections off the field, all of this will come through because it is different playing South Africa at home and the fans, um, how vocal, the atmosphere with the music, the flares, everything that comes with the build up and the hype of the test match. Um, and then you've got the intensity of the box to deal with after all of that. So it's about managing your emotions and getting yourself through to that, I guess, the hucker and that first whistle, and then it's about playing rugby.
And then just Will, for you, the stadium that you would like to play at, where would we find that? Is it up in Cape Town or in the Highveld? Do you enjoy playing most?
Um, yeah, I mean Ellis Park's certainly iconic. Um, been lucky enough to play there a couple of times, and certainly as a atmosphere and just a general experience like Bodie touched on is pretty special. did also really enjoy the Cape Town stadium last year. The, I guess, newer facilities there, and yeah, so I think either of those two would be big. But for me, Ellis Park's yeah, probably one of the greatest grounds you play in rugby. So be great to get back there again.
Okay. Jan, you've just been, have you? I'm losing.
Yeah, sorry. I know I'm going to give my age away here, but back in '94, there was always, well, these tours were always that talk of the fifth test. So in 1984, it was Auckland was a big team. There was a massive match at Canterbury. And then the Springbok head is still sitting in Dunedin. I don't know if it's still called the House of Pain or what the stadium has been changed. But so those were the big matches. So my question to the two players are, what match outside of the test are they most looking forward to perhaps in playing?
Mm.
The Bulls in Super Rugby. And there was a team I grew up watching a lot during their great run with the Crusaders. So that would certainly be a big one. I guess sort of it comes down to like what players get released for what games, depending on what week you play and that sort of thing could alter how strong a team is. But yeah, certainly the Bulls in Pretoria at Loftus would be one on my bucket list.
Yeah, for me, playing the Sharks at Kings Park, I think as a Hurricane only won there once, so it was always a tough place to go and play. And for some reason, we travelled to play the Lions and the Sharks quite a bit. We didn't really get the Stormers loop, so to speak. So in the earlier years, playing against Schockberger, that was memorable. So going back there to play the Stormers would be one of the first two for me, Kings Park or the Stormers.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Louis.
Hi guys, just one from me, and it goes out to both of you. Does the manner of the defeat at Sky Stadium make this rivalry any more, or make this tour any more important or significant to the All Blacks at all?
There's going to be a lot of water going under the bridge between then and when we tour. Obviously, it still hurts. But in recent times, they've had the upper hand. Like we just look back at the 23 World Cup, the heartbreak of that. But then you look as far back as the success we had at North Harbour many years ago, which was a record-breaking win for us. So you can look into it as far back as you want, draw on whatever you need that fuels you. But in recent times, we feel like they've probably had the upper hand. So yeah, of course, going into this tour, we know how big a challenge it's going to be.
Okay, Ben.
Hi, Beauden. Just a quick one for you. You mentioned enjoying SA's golf courses earlier. Do we need to be getting some sort of Ryder Cup playoff system into this tour? Do we think is that on the agenda?
Now we're talking.
There might be the unofficial fifth test we're talking about before.
Sounds like there's a lot of potential.
Okay. Yeah, Sim, okay, let's go.
It's Sim, Callum. Don't stress. I could see
Sorry,
you
Sim.
trying to work out how to say that.
No worries, Sim.
No worries. A question for both, please. A lot has been made of South African teams no longer playing in Super Rugby. Does coming on tour to South Africa to play that many games a year before the World Cup help, especially when you consider that obviously the Boks probably would be one of the teams to beat at the World Cup a year later?
Yeah, I think it'll certainly be helpful as a group. for multiple reasons. Like getting away for that length of time allows you to get extremely tight and grow connections off the park, which is hugely important as you're building towards the World Cup. And certainly on the park, yeah, we know how big a test it's going to be. 7 weeks, 7 or 8 games of extremely tough conditions, hostile, playing a different style to what we have, I guess, throughout Super Rugby now. So yeah, I think it'd be great preparation for us heading into the World Cup. But yeah, I guess at the same time, our full focus be on the tour and trying to get a result during those tests.
Well, thank you, Sam. Any more?
Yes, please, Craig.
Yeah, go on, Greg.
Thanks. Sorry, hi guys. You touched on a little bit earlier about the strength of the provincial teams. I asked Rassie Erasmus if the Springbok players would be released for the provincial games. It didn't sound like it's going to happen. So there's probably going to be 40 odd Springboks out of those provincial games. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. The stronger the provincial sides, the more it prepares you for the test, but it makes it a bit tougher as well. How do you view that? Would you like to see test players in those provincial games?
I think it would mean a lot to those players going back to get an opportunity for their provincial sides. It would probably mean a lot to them. I can't say I've been in that situation before, but speaking to guys like Rico Ioane when he went, or those who have played against the Lions for their super teams have had great success, and it's some of the most memorable achievements or occasions in their rugby career. So, look, I'd be surprised if Rassie wouldn't release any of his players, because it's a great opportunity to get some game time and some great experience for them, because I'm sure they'd be chomping at the bit to play rather than not getting an opportunity at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final ones for anybody? No? Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for your time this evening, everybody. And yeah, we will communicate whenever we're able to sort of lift the embargo from these quotes, hopefully as soon as possible, but grateful for your patience and understanding on that. But yeah, thank you to Will and Beauden for your time this evening.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks all. Speak soon.
See you tomorrow, Chef.
The rest.